How's it going, everybody? Nicky D here. How you doing? And we're finally going to bring you folks a actual review of Fallout 76 of a little bit I've played. I know I kind of made a vlog on it there, but we're going to do a little something a little bit different there today. So let's get right into it. So yeah, just for further clarification, I have received, or I am receiving, sorry, a refund for Fallout 76 that is confirmed officially now. I actually received an email from Bethesda. So that'll be coming along. Don't know how long, probably a few days. So I'm going to talk about some things I don't like, some things I do like. But before I get into that, I do want to mention I've watched some other reviews, and I have basically seen two sides of Fallout 76. There's the people that are completely just jaying it off to Fallout 76, and they just don't talk anything negatively about the game. I see the opposite of that. I see all the people that just talk negatively, nothing good. And there's a couple people in the middle. But a lot of those channels I find are just kind of bogus. So let's get right into it. So this is kind of just generally from my experience, and then things I've also looked up. So one of my biggest concerns, and probably the biggest actually, is there's just no NPCs. So an NPC, if you don't know, is a non-playable character. That'd be like a person that you go to a quest. You get a quest from that person or a mission. They just don't exist in this game. But you will find literally dead bodies everywhere, audio logs, and terminals with all kinds of information. Now, I don't mind doing that in a single-player aspect. I find that kind of enjoyable. But the only thing about Fallout 76 is I never partnered up with anybody. Nobody bothered to partner up with me. And I would just feel it would be annoying getting into a group and you're constantly just trying to hush them to listen to an audio log, or you're just sitting there reading a terminal for like an hour. Now, I guess what that's actually called is environmental storytelling. So instead of actually doing, a story talking to said person, they give you information. This way you kind of get it that way. And I'll be honest, I'm not that much of a fan of that, but I can understand maybe people like that, and that's absolutely okay. So they do have quests, but a lot of them are like events. So like I walked into an area when I was playing, and it literally was like, hey, come kill 3 robots, do something on the computer, and we'll give you like a little reward. And that wasn't that bad. It's kind of enjoyable. So I can't really argue that. So it seems like that's more like an area kind of quest, like a classic MMO kind of thing. You go into a certain area, and then you're eligible to do said mission. Now I've noticed, and I think I'm correct here in saying this, there's costumes. So the costumes go over top of your armor. So like my character in the actual game normally was wearing the Vault jumpsuit and leather armor, right? Leather armor, like shoulders, chest piece, whatever. Well, I picked up a paramedic outfit, and it went over top of everything, and I wore all that anyway. So it hit all the armor, and then I get to look like a paramedic. So it was kind of cool. I can't argue that. I think that's actually kind of a good idea. The water and food system, I actually personally enjoy that, and I feel like that's way more immersive and enjoyable. Fallout 4 had that option where it actually was in survival mode, but I don't really like playing survival for a few reasons, especially the saving. My game does crash the desktop once in a while with all the mods, so that's kind of obnoxious, so I don't bother doing that. Needless to say, I like that it's in this game, and yeah, like I said, it makes it a little more realistic. And you can actually make, like there's a lot of crafting, so like you can actually, you can make bullets, you can make armor, and that kind of stuff I do like. Right, that stuff there I find is very, it's very good, right? You can't argue that. All right, building a site is another thing you've probably seen. So the settlements there, I find the controls are really awkward. Like for the crafting, like the actual like website, or not the website, sorry, the site, like the tables and whatever. It's just fine getting through the menus. It can be a little difficult there. Maybe I just haven't done it enough. But I do find the settlement actually, I like that idea that you can kind of just build it in those set locations that you want to. Like I literally built my settlement in like the back of like a fucking like a train car, I guess you would call it. Like, like the big fucking containers on trains. I built one in there, and I thought it was kind of interesting. So I don't mind that whole settlement thing, but apparently, because every time I've logged back into the game, it's always there. But from what I hear, someone else builds in that area, and they're already in the game. Yours just kind of like packs up, and then you can just replace it somewhere else. I don't know how that works. Yeah, so you can, there's like levels on weapons and stuff. So like getting a certain weapon now is not necessarily okay, I'm going to just pick up a gun and go. It is now I have to pick up a gun and wait. And on that point, there's also just a shit ton of those fucking pipe pistols, which isn't really that exciting. Apparently, you can just sell this to a vendor, and I did find there actually is a vendor, so I guess this is an NPC. But it's literally just a robot. It's just idle. So I think you just walk up to him and talk to him, and you can sell shit. But every time I did, apparently he was busy, so he must have been with somebody else. I don't remember actually seeing any other players there. Something you're gonna find really funny actually was when I think this was more in the beta, but the IP releases were actually of the characters in like the people playing the game. IP releases or IP stands for Internet Protocol. So what that is an IP is the network address of a device. So in this case, it would be their computers, right? So when I'm saying there's an IP, all the IP addresses of everyone in the lobby were in plain text format. Basically, that means if anybody got that information, they could see every IP of everyone in the lobby. And an IP address can also lead to your ISP, which is your internet service provider. So they can actually get a good idea of where you live. They can also use that IP to DDoS you, which would be basically flooding your router full of packets, and they can actually shut your internet down for a set amount of time. And they probably just have a way to just, quite frankly, just boot you out of a game. So that's kind of funny. And there was also a concern, too, that apparently in one of the INI files, you could change your FPS in there, I believe. Because I don't know if it was like locked at a certain frame rate. And upon doing so, your character would attack and probably, I think, move as well according to what you've set that to. So those two items are locked together. They're intertwined. So if you set to 120, your character would now have that speed of 120 of attacking. And it was quite ridiculous. So, another thing I kind of noticed here is when I got into the game, I find people's mics are always on. And I didn't even realize that either. And I did that yesterday, and I was in a Discord call, or not yesterday, the day before. So that's kind of awkward. But I think that's just a quick fix, right? And it's most people probably just, oh, okay, and I can just mute myself, right? But again, I didn't even really realize that, so that was kind of unfortunate. So there's microtransactions. I can't really review them very well. I didn't really look at them. But I noticed as I was playing, I was getting Atom points. And see, I don't know, I think you get like 70 an hour or something like that of gameplay. But they add up, and then you can buy stuff like cosmetics and such. So I guess that, I'm not going to argue that. It's kind of fun. And while you're just playing, it's not like I got to really do anything. I can just play. Overall gameplay, gunplay, I actually enjoyed Fallout 4. And of course Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas. But this one I didn't mind for gameplay at all. I think it was quite fair. And it's very, I like the graphics. It's very like a good, vibrant environment. Which I definitely enjoy. I haven't hit up any of the radio stations, but I hear they're great. So, fast travel, that costs caps. Don't know if I really want to agree with that, but I guess it makes sense where you're looking at an online thing. And I guess the biggest criticism, too, is, like, everybody says this game is, like, apparently, like, the next Fallout 5. I do not believe that to be true. I believe this is basically like a Fallout 4 DLC, in my opinion, because that's basically what it's supposed to be. It's a Fallout 4 online, right, with co-op ability. And, I think maybe some people take that a little too seriously. So, kind of putting on those key points, I'm going to put like an overall thing of what I think of the game. Overall, honest opinion, I don't think it's really that bad of a game. My opinion, I really think there's a problem with longevity. I don't think it'll be as interesting as it is right away after several days of gameplay. But there are also people I watch playing that are just like, it's like they're just getting jaded off because they're just playing. They love it. Like, they just, nothing negative about it. And they're just super into the game. And you know what? If they're happy playing it, I will not take that away from them. And I am happy for them. But in the meantime, that is not something that I think I could play. I have been playing Fallout 4 today again, and it is heavily modded, and I'm having a really good time. We could get into Fallout 4, but that's a conversation for another day. If you guys want more videos like this, by the way, let me know. I thought about doing some more off the GoPro. Just put like an image up there, kind of like a podcast, and you just listen to me for like 10-15 minutes, and I just give it to you straight. And that's kind of the way it should go. We're only at 9 minutes right now, 9.5 minutes. Let's see if we can get up to that 10-minute mark. So, yeah, like I said, overall, I don't know. I don't really mind it. I think it was... I actually quite enjoyed it for the first couple hours. I thought it was kind of interesting. At the end of the day, I don't, oh yeah, and I forgot to mention VATS, but we'll get to that in a quick second. But at the end of the day, like, I'm not going to disregard anybody wanting to play it. But, like, the PvP aspect, you know, you can't even really technically kill someone, which I guess is a good thing, if they don't want to, like, PvP with you, and I guess they have to, like, fire back to initiate it, so they kind of get, like, the first shot off, so I guess that's kind of shitty. And actually, to be honest, the PvP just looks really awkward, but, again, that's not something I got into. Nobody was griefing me, which was kind of nice. And, like I said, it just overall, I don't really know what to say. The VATS, I'm surprised they kept it. Not gonna lie. I thought the VATS would be gone, so now it kind of just seems like, not really like an auto aim, but you don't, you know, you're not shooting a specific part of the body, right? You're only shooting, you know, just in general at the person. Oh, as far as I'm aware, anyway. So I don't know. The perk system's okay. You know, I don't mind the level up system. Like, I mean, you know, there's things I didn't say, but I mean, I think those are perfectly fine. Or I'm not gonna, you know, I'm not gonna argue them. You know, I don't, you know, I'm no expert here. I'm not gonna fucking say that my opinion is all here. But so a few other things there, folks. I want to quickly touch over here. So the nuking system, I can't fully say, this is not like a review where I've done every single thing in the game, but I've done enough on it to know. So you get these codes while you're playing, okay, through various means, and you can nuke a area, and when you do that, you're gonna find all kinds of higher level enemies. You're gonna find more loot, and I think that's an interesting concept. I'm not gonna lie, I do kind of like that a little bit. And it also provides that idea that, yeah, like, again, I can go in there, I can get better stuff, right? And I can create way harder enemies, and that also creates that dynamic of teamwork, which this game pulls off, I think, in that sense. And then kind of branching off with that with the enemies. So the enemies, I will say I found a lot of the same enemies, like just a lot of Scorched. I haven't seen too many Feral Ghouls. I mean, I know they're around. But I mean, I think there's still a good variety, though, of enemy types. And there's definitely some that are definitely a lot harder than others that you're not going to find too many of. Which you'll see in various pictures if you simply just Google the game, or watch some YouTubers play it. Emotes are kind of a thing that I quickly wanted to touch on, but not really that much. I mean, of course, in any MMO, you're going to have that. You're going to be able to make your character, like, make some ridiculous pose, and then you have a screenshot thing that you can do. And I mean, you know, whatever. I actually like the map, I'm not going to lie, and it seems to be, like, a quite decent size. I mean, now I could be wrong, but it looks like a lot of stuff are already it's already, like, kind of labeled. But I do like the fact that I like a blank map, like Fallout 4, and it's just kind of bare bones, and you have to go out and actually find things. I feel like that is a good thing. And the final point I want to touch on in this review is something that I think is quite funny that I picked up on this after actually listening to someone else's review, and it really made a lot of sense to me. And I want to hash this out to you guys. So a big part of the game people complain about is, like, there's no raiders, right? There's no factions. But this kind of game, and like, again, there's no way to roleplay. This game really allows you to roleplay, but you have to do it with the other actual players. So another player might have a settlement, they're doing their own thing, they might have another, like, 2 people with them, they're kind of all playing together, and you could kind of be the raider. You could get a group of people, and you could raid that settlement. And I think that's what makes it different. People are used to the NPCs doing that, but at this point in the game, it's actually the other way around. It wants to force that interaction, and have a different interaction every time, because you're going to be playing with different people. I don't know. So I don't know what I'll do with this video. I'm thinking about just putting some pictures up and just having them transition through. So at least you have something different to look at every little while. But besides that, let me know, folks. Do you like this format? What do you think of the game? Do you enjoy it? Or do you not? And if you do, let me know. And if you don't, well, let me know. Other than that, I'm going to go back to watching some videos. And we're going to throw this video together. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.